Hey everyone, my name is Crystal and my channel is Vintage Booth Pro. I am here to tell you about my April sales. I finally went into the store and got my sales sheet so I can give you all the updated numbers. My hair looks crazy, but it always does. So why should that be any different? So April, I hope you had an amazing April. Let me know in the comments below if you did. It was terrible for me. So it was the first month that I started my second booth, probably ill-advised to do the second booth, but my overall goal is to get the clutter out of my house. And I actually look crazy because I just had finished a yard sale this morning. And so that was a big piece of the kids' junk, getting rid of some of their clothes and toys and stuff. And it was pretty successful. I'm happy. And honestly, I didn't bring anything else back into the house. It just went into the trunk of my car and went straight to the thrift store, anything that was left over. So I'm glad that part's over with, so I can focus on the booth again because it's a lot of work. It's a lot more work than you think getting ready for a garage sale. And I coordinated my neighborhood's garage sale, so that just made it even more hectic. So in our group over on Facebook, and if you're a Vintage Booth owner, you are welcome to join. It is a free group on Facebook, Vintage Booth Pro. I post daily sales updates, and we have had an influx of new people joining, and it has just been a ton of fun. I mean, getting to know everybody. You don't have to comment at all if you don't want to. It's just supposed to be a learning platform to help you learn what's going out of different antique stores across the country. So, and it's a great way to just get to know other vintage booth owners. It's been a lot of fun. So based on the feedback from the group, some people had a great April, some people had a terrible April. And I am not an excuses person, but I will throw this out there. The first week of April was spring break. So I had one day to move into my second booth, and I did not paint. You know, I always recommend painting your plywood, making it stand out, doing something to make it stand out compared to the other people there. I didn't have the energy or the time to do that. I don't know how long I'm going to keep this one. My goal is it's basically a storage unit, just to have the extra things in my house, see if they'll sell, and, stuff like that. So I had one day to get it ready before we went from Georgia to California to Disneyland. This was our family vacation from 2020. We had it planned when the world shut down, and so we are Disney people. We go like almost once a year. The kids have just grown up going to Disney World, and this was the vacation of our lives to go to Disneyland. And so it was really, really, really difficult to get the house cleaned out in time in one day and pack for a week-long vacation across the country. And like I said, I'm not an excuses person. I try to get the job done no matter what, but it just didn't happen. I'm going to share some pictures of what I left the booth looking like for an entire week. And, it wasn't just my spring break. It was the Tri-County area spring break. And so sales were not that great anyways. They probably wouldn't have been great without it. I mean, even if I hadn't been gone and etc. So that's my excuse. I'm going to pop up some pictures of Disneyland just because we had so much fun, just an epic vacation. I highly recommend Disneyland if you ever get the opportunity. So now that you know where I'm coming from, what I presented to the world for basically the first half of April on my second booth, you can understand why the sales were low. So here's the good news. My second booth did pay for itself. The total sales from the second booth were $251.62, and rent is $240. And on my original booth, my total sales were $982.07, and my rent is $432 there. So I made rent. I'm very happy for that. But the profit was not great. I was glad to get a check for $400. But I will go through each individual thing that's sold in each booth and tell you what I bought it for if I can remember. But But yeah, and I also want to tell you, I'm going to start doing these on a weekly basis rather than a monthly basis, just to make it a little bit easier on me. I think the editing will be a lot easier, and you'll get more closer to real time, view of what's selling in my booth. Okay, so I'm going to start with my second booth, which has Christmas, it has Halloween, and it has all my jewelry now. So I did finally, towards the end of the month, get my jewelry back in, and I found a good spot for it. I think that once I get all my jewelry back in, because I just have a few select pieces. So jewelry is a great seller for extra smalls. I price it between like $3 and $10. Just costume jewelry. It's pre-owned. I got it from like shopgoodwill.com, I think, and maybe the Goodwill Blue Box. Do you guys do that? On Friday nights they restock and have jewelry boxes and just a lot of different things. So let me go through what all I sold in my smaller booth. I think it's an 8x10, and this is the just everything booth. First of all, this Elvis tin sold for $3. I think I bought it for $3 at another antique store in Alabama. I have a video of that trip, but yeah, I had it for a long time and it didn't sell, and I had it on eBay for a long time and it didn't sell. So it's, tin boxes just don't sell well for me. How about you? Do they sell for you? I'd love to know. I got these nutcrackers for free off of Nextdoor, I think, and they've really been a good eye catcher. So these are a good thing to have in my booth. I think they're mostly from Hobby Lobby. One sold for $3 and another one for $3.75. The skeleton sold for $4.99. A small pumpkin sold for $6.99. A necklace sold for $7.50. And 2 candle holders sold for $7.50. And I will tell you that the last 2 days of the month I had a 25% off sale. And so that's what some of those numbers reflect. A wooden nativity set sold for $9.99, and I got it for Goodwill for $2. The Santa gourd sold for $9.99. And I have a bunch of gourds, and I think I got this one for free. And another Santa gourd sold for $10. And I'll put a picture up. My husband was like, "What is that?" But happy to see that one go. He'll probably look really cool painted up. Anyways, another nutcracker sold for $11.25. It had been $15. This vintage apron sold for $11.99, and I got it for $1. This nativity scene sold for $12, and it was in my booth last year and didn't sell. I think I had it priced higher though, and I got it from Goodwill, I think, for around $2. This mud pie pumpkin sold for $12.99, and that's from an online estate sale haul that I got for, it was less than $1. This primitive looking witch doll sold for $12.99, and that was a free pickup. This vintage Santa doll was $14.99. This large pumpkin sold for $14.99, and I found a couple of those at Goodwill's for $2 or $3. A sleigh sold for $14.99. A nutcracker sold for $15. This silver platter sold for $18.74. I got it at Goodwill for $7, marked at $24.99, and it sold on the 25% off sale. It was not silver. I forget exactly what it was called, but it had a red, like a rose tint to it. It was silver-plated something, but I didn't like the way it looked, so I marked it kind of low. This pumpkin with a lid sold for $19.99. And another Santa sold for $24.99. And I'll put the pictures up if I can. I don't really remember a lot of those things. And with 2 booths, it's going to get so much more difficult to remember the exact items. And that's another reason I'm moving to weekly sales updates. Okay, so moving on to the main booth, my bigger booth, which is 12x10. So I did get my stickers back in the booth, and that's another extra small thing that a lot of vintage booth owners are adding to their booth. I've been noticing. It's a great, easy sell. So I have those. I haven't purchased any new ones in a long time, but I did go through, clean them up, and organize them. But also I created some hometown stickers. So I live in a town called Cumming, Georgia, which is a unique name. And they've recently repainted our water tower, so we have more than one water tower, but they did a really cool design. And so I kind of tried to, copy that design from the water tower, and I'll pop up some pictures of what I did. They cost about $1 to print, unfortunately. I have them marked $3 each or 2 for $5. And so the regular stickers are $1, and I got those put into the booth later in the month. So did sell one on the 25% off sale, so 75 cents. And another one of the hometown stickers for $1.87. A souvenir spoon sold for $3. And a bracelet. So I did kind of have some jewelry in the other booth. It sold for $3, and a set of earrings sold for $3. Okay, so these milk glass plates, I think I had them in my original booth for probably like 2 years. Last year I did a yard sale and marked them like $1. Nobody bought them. And when I was going through stuff for the yard sale, I was like, you know what? I'm going to put these back in my booth. So they sold for $3 each. I have no recollection of where I got them. One of my hometown stickers sold for $3. A mystery box sold for $3.75. That's with a discount. And 2 of the hometown stickers, I should have put all those together. I'm sorry. Actually, 4 stickers sold for $3.75 and $3.75. So this last member of the Chick family sold for $4.99. And 2 pens sold for $5 each. I have this huge lot of vintage pens. Another mystery box sold for $5. This pot with the bunny sold for $6.99. A small chair, it's like a wicker chair, sold for $6.99. And that one actually was attached to a bear, a plush that I found at Goodwill. So I got rid of the plush and just used the chair. This Easter egg garland, got it at Goodwill for $1, and it sold for $8.99. This dog towel was from Goodwill as well for around $1. Nothing's $1. It's like $1.09 or $1.29. And it sold for $8.99. This picture, I'm trying to remember where I got it. I think at Goodwill for around $2. But it was a very old picture. This girl with the cat, it was framed and it was bent. It was kind of messed up. So I had it marked low at $12.99, and somebody picked it up on the 25% off sale for $9.74. This vintage sewing basket that I have had forever, picked up at Goodwill for $3, and I had it marked $12.99, and again, it sold at the 25% off sale for $9.74. A blue and white plate sold for $9.99, and I got basically all of the chinoiserie in my booth. I got it for free. That'll probably never happen again, but that's okay. So these 3 blue and white saucers sold for $11.97, $3.99 each. And they're like little bowls. And I was actually in there when the lady came by and bought them. And she makes these 3-tiered trays and sells them on Etsy. And I wish I'd gotten her contact information. I would have been so happy to share it. But I saw she bought a ton of just cups and saucers and just a million little things. I saw her lining them up at the cashier as I left. This peaches can, I picked it up for around $3, sold for $12.99. This corbel, set of 2 corbels, got for free, sold for $12.99. A brass planter sold for $12.99. That's one I don't remember if I have a picture or if I can come up with what I think it might be. I'll add it. This gold mirror sold for $12.99. And I think I picked it up for $3 or $4. And I was also there when a lady came by and bought it. And she was so funny. She was just like, how much is that mirror? I'll take it. I'm doing a gallery wall of mirrors to make my bathroom look bigger. I'm like, that's a great idea. This beautiful bag, it said Embrace the Journey. I forget what brand it was. Picked it up at Goodwill for $4.99 and sold for $14.99. This bust paid way too much at $6 and it sold for $14.99. A brass reindeer sold for $14.99. A wicker wine rack. I think I picked it up at at thrift store for $4 and it sold for $14.99. This Portugal oil lamp, got for free, sold for $15, and had it forever. I'm so glad that finally sold. This small red glass orb was from an online estate sale auction, sold for $18.74. It was $24.99 with a 25% off discount. This little cast iron bird bath, it was small. It was probably 6 inches. Picked up online at the estate sale and sold for $18.74. That it was $24.99 with a 25% off discount. This basket I paid way too much at $10 at an estate sale for, and had it marked $24.99. Also sold 25% off for $18.74. Brass candle holder, $19.99. Oh, this brass reindeer. Oh, you know what? I have that in the wrong column. So actually my other booth did make a little bit more. So that sold for $19.99. A metal security box sold for $19.99. And I found that for $1 at an estate sale. This Brighton straw bag, found at Goodwill for $4.99 and sold for $24.99. I have so many purses and bags in my eBay inventory because I also sell clothes and accessories online, that I thought, some of these things might be good impulse purchases for people that are, the straw bags, beach bags, going on vacation, getting ready, and starting to think about those sorts of things. This mushroom teapot, I found it in an estate sale for a couple of dollars. And if you don't know, mushrooms are just like insane right now. I'm sure it will die off, and I think it might be slowly dying right now. But if you have anything mushroom related, get it in your booth now. This sold for $29.99. This elephant statue, bought for $7, sold for $34.99. And this picture, I haven't marked signed picture. I think I bought it for $6 or $7, and it sold for $34.99. This large oval mirror, I bought at Goodwill for like $15, and just did this paint technique where you basically paint it like an ivory color, and then you brush on like a gel stain. And just the way you brush, it kind of makes it look like wood. So it had sort of a wood finish. Anyways, it sold for $49.99. My very large brass dog finally sold. It was in a lot for, what was it, around $1, I think. And it sold for $50. I had it marked $64.99, but the store called and the customer wanted to see if I would take $50. And of course I did. This oil painting. Oh my gosh, I've had this for so long. It was $27 at a thrift store. It was pretty big. And I had it in my booth forever. And finally I was like, maybe it's the color of the frame. So I took it home and painted it gold, marked the price down a little bit, marked it down to $85. I think I had 125, so something crazy. And so someone did buy it on the 25% off sale for $63.75. So whew. This beautiful gold mirror, oh my gosh, I got it for free because of the freebie app that everyone should have on their phone. And, it's certain things, you get a lot of notifications, but certain things you just have to say, I want it immediately. And I got this mirror. I've had it for a long time, and I had it marked 200. I finally marked it down when I moved to 125, and the store was using it as decor in one of their, actually the front entrance. And so it sold for $125, got it for free. And finally, these two end tables sold for $200. And while I did get them for free on Facebook Marketplace, I spent quite a bit of money on the paint and the knobs. So the check I received was $402, and cost of goods was around $135.50. So final profit, $267.50. So please tell me that you had a better April and that you're having an awesome May. I hope that you are all doing really well. And don't forget to join our group on Facebook, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.